Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Zero Dark 30, Monday morning. Only the slightest of headaches. Well, I think Monday is its own headache. Here we are, folks. We blasted out of the bunker into the dark. And we're in Florida, and there is panic everywhere in the media. I'm not panicking. I'm just not happy about the fact that a storm is trying to kill us. But here's the deal, folks. SHTF. You can see it coming. What's the reaction? How do people behave? What decisions do they make? And how does that affect you, me, us? Right now, I used to really marvel at the fact that economists are probably the number one group other than preppers that talk about being prepped. Even FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and liars. They don't even talk about getting prepared as much as the economists do. Now, why is that? Why is that, you got to ask? Well, I certainly asked. Well, the reason, I think is that they have to study history. Economics is studying information and then looking at history to see what else is going on. So they do. They look to the past for economic indicators and they learn about things that are happening. People's behavior, spending habits, migrating habits, right? Where they go for jobs, businesses, all these things, right? And they find out, holy cow, when things get bad economically, things get bad for everybody. And that's just, it's a fact of history. So these economists say things like, well, get food, get water, move to a safe place. And a lot of them do. I watch and listen to several that are in other countries, even, or Puerto Rico, that sort of thing. They've gotten out of the way. And others have gone and come back. Like Bill Holter left the country and then came back to Texas and said, well, I'm going to make my stand, right? So can you see it? They can see it. They see it coming. They know what's coming. It's clearly, folks, as we can see a hurricane coming across the water to smash into Florida, you can see it coming. Now, how many people, knowing, right, that hurricanes come to Florida are even ready? Well, not as many as you might think. Not as many as I might think. I would figure, you see enough of them, you know what to do. Well, apparently a lot of them think you need cases and cases of toilet paper and paper towels, because the world just wouldn't be right without cases and cases of toilet paper and paper towels. But you can see what they're going to do. I can get a good sense of SHTF by what's happening here with a hurricane coming. These people, they see it coming. A lot of people run. Now, running is what you do when a plan fails. Running is not a plan. But I see a lot of people running. In fact, as I stepped outside the Supreme Bunker complex, and I got to look around in the neighborhood, I saw some people coming out with suitcases getting in their car. And I thought, okay, well, I've checked the highway systems in Florida. Oh, they're fine for normal travel, but it's gridlock. I'm sure even at this time of day, zero dark, 0, 0, right? There's people on the highway and it's crowded, but they're trying. That's their plan, is to run. Where are you going? Where are you going to stay? Who's going to take care of your house? So many questions. But the other behaviors, people are scared. And well, there's factors out there that people live by, things that motivate them. Greed is a powerful motivator, but fear is the most powerful motivator. And right now, people are scared. I don't know if you've noticed it, but this video seems a little darker than normal. Well, I'm actually traveling in the usual directions that I usually travel in. But there's not a whole lot going on. Right? It's interesting how commerce goes on all night long. Businesses keep working, people keep doing jobs because it's easier to work at night and get things done that you can't get done as easily during the day, yada, yada, yada. But now, here, it's much darker than normal. It's not like it can get any darker, absent the sun. But this is where we're at. I'll try and find a street I can turn down that has more lights. Maybe that'll give us a cheery feeling. But really, people get scared. Now, let's just say you're in Denver, Colorado, or Kansas City, Missouri. People get scared. What are they going to do? If they see SHTF coming, if they feel threatened, something's trying to hurt them, something's trying to get them, what happens, right? They're going to panic. I am listening to panic, and I am hearing some of the stupidest shit in Florida. Stupidest shit. Now, one friend of mine had a generator out in the last storm, Helene. A little generator working. Well, there's a social media site for that neighborhood, kind of a neighborhood watch thing. Really great idea. Great idea. But one of the neighbors says, hey, we know who has a generator, so we're going to go over to their place when the power goes out. And I thought, what a great neighborhood. Inviting themselves to come to your house and live off of your comforts that you spent time getting prepped. Right? That's what people do, is they look to see what other people have, and then they make little cute plans. Just a cute little comment alone. Right? What are people going to do? They see it coming, and instead of we just had a massive, massive hurricane, right? Helene just missed the southern part of Florida. People had a chance to go buy generators, order them from Amazon, buy them, fuel cans, get stored up, get prepped, get food, get water. Instead, they did nothing. And then when something comes, they panic. Now, here's the deal. You can hear a hurricane coming for days away, right? It's not so difficult, right? You just got to pay attention to the news and listen to your whiny ass neighbors. But, let's just say a terror event or a massive decision by a government to say, stay in your homes for the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, until we say you can come out. You have to stay in your homes or you're going to die. That sort of thing. Yeah, that's an emergency you can't prepare for. It's upon you. It is there. It's instant. One moment it's not, the next moment it is, right? As this hurricane shows up, people know it's coming. It gets a little crazier, a little louder, etc. You know it's coming. The fear builds. But on this one, folks, after Helene went by, people didn't do anything to get ready. And I read people going, well, I'm going to come to this person's house, and I'm coming to that person's house. And also, you got to run. Get everything you can and get out while you can. They make it sound like a fucking planet is going to slam into Earth. And, it's going to explode as if you could drive and get away from it. That's just the silliness. But that's fear. That is fear. Fear is the greatest motivator. Now, what do you do when you're motivated? You do what comes natural when you panic. When you're motivated and panicked, you do what comes natural. Now, what's the term we designate for that? Fight or flight. Flight, run. A lot of people, like I said, are running. They don't know where they're going to run. They're going to go live in a hotel, eat fast food, hope this hurricane doesn't head their direction. So then there's, fight. And if you're a good person, you're willing to fight for what's good. And here's the trick. If you're fearful and a bad person, you're going to fight and do bad things. My question to you is, are you prepared to fight for the good things, for what's right? Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Godspeed. God bless America. And Semper Fi.